school, I had to write it on paper. Here we go. All right. On or around 1964, in 3rd grade, I merely bubbled in random bubbles on a standardized test that I took umbrage for wasting my time. 2 years later, forced with the boring prospect of repeating that exercise of utility, I cheated and kept working whenever the proctor said, close your booklet. 1966. Hello, my name is Scott Safro, a Chicago public school teacher for over 31 years. A colleague and friend, the late Bill Buchanan, railed against the CPS leadership when he, a nationally board certified teacher, got summarily and callously fired a couple years ago. He spoke that the crisis in CPS was one of lack of leadership, saying that the most important element in education was the optimism that lived inside each learner. So I ask you, is there a correlation between the declining student progress with the increasing taking over of schools by the business model? For most of my career, I felt that for like 100 years, or so, teachers were trusted as professionals. We administered tests we designed, valid indicators of student learning. Now, of course, we got the vast testing industry. The Para Law states a significant portion of our teacher evaluations are tied to the test results. When a colleague asked his son what he learned after taking a high-stakes test, the son replied, "The test taught me how to fail, as it didn't cover what he learned in his classes." So whatever happened to the trust our society bestowed upon teachers? Was it lost because some people expressed concern that their teachers weren't excellent, that they were poor, bad teachers? There are inadequate performers in all occupations. But I suspect, follow the dollar. There's a push to kill all unions, an attack on the working class. This push is well funded by the billionaires. Of course, they must know better. They're billionaires. They're too big to be wrong or fail. When I was in high school, from 1970 to 1974, we needed only 20 credits to graduate. That's 5 classes per year, and we had 4 years of gym. Now, our first CEO, and we always had school superintendent prior to Mayor Richard M. Daley agreeing to take control of the public schools. Now, prior to Mayor Daley agreeing to take over the public schools, he always used to say, well, that's the Chicago Public Schools. That's the Board of Education. That's not me. But at the time, the federal government waived $5 billion in school construction money, and he came running, okay, I'll be in charge of it. And that was back when $1 billion was $1 billion. Now, he foisted his chief of staff, Paul Vallis, on us, indicating to us that Mr. Vallis had teaching experience. We believe seriously that the experience might merely been a year of teaching ROTC, not really public school. And after test scores came out one year, the workaholic Mr. Vallis said, I know how we can improve test scores, more academics. He required 24 credits to graduate high school. Kids lost the study hall. Now, textbooks weigh too much. Everything's bigger in Texas. Most of our textbooks are made in Texas. Currently, our students take 7 classes a day. Try carrying 7 of these home to do your homework. Conceivably, now students therefore can fail at a rate of 1 class per year and still achieve 24 credits after 4 years. Next year, the principal of our school is planning for students to take 8 classes per year. Wow! A student could then fail an average of 2 classes per year and still earn 6 credits per year, 4 years, 24 credits, and graduate on time. Now, another difficulty I see in trying to motivate our students is the goal CEO Ron Huberman stated a couple years ago that 80% of CPS students should go to college. This was a metric that our area instructional officer gave us as a goal. Now, you ask a recent college grad who's paying off a student loan and not working in their chosen field if perhaps they would have benefited from a choice of perhaps a technical, vocational training in high school. Machinists are sorely needed in our country today. I need a haircut. I go to the barber. He's intelligent, very learned. He has no college degree. I eat at a restaurant. The manager, cook, waiter, the cleaning people. They don't have college degrees. They don't need them. But they do have a career. My bathroom sink leaked. I call my plumber. My fish tank needs work. I call the fish guy. I have my condo painted. I call the painter. I need electrical work. Just all my new glass screen. I call an electrician. And as I drive down the street, I see many careers that do not require a college degree. Dry cleaners, tailors, bar owners and workers, musicians, artists, yoga teachers, dance instructors, retail store proprietors, clerks, massage therapists. Did a college preparatory secondary school education need to ready them for high school or better for a career? I think that sentence is bad. Did a college preparatory secondary school education, right, to prepare them for college. Did that prepare them for their career? I stand here extremely fortunate to have a career, a profession, where I am a union member. Luckily, we have collective bargaining and other rights that my union has fought for. Blessed, many would say. Strong public schools are needed in every community. Every student and family needs and deserves a quality public education. The pillars of our community. Yet these are being killed off as the powers that be attempt to kill off my union, the Chicago Teachers Union. One example is the charter school teachers. Now they're allowed to organize, to unionize, but they are not legislatively allowed to join our union. We would joyously welcome their numbers into our rank and file. Why would our lawmakers make it illegal for them to join our union? I leave that as your homework assignment. Now, we have shop vocational. Now, why have shop and vocational classes been closed? Are we as a society to say that we only need a talented tenth? Perhaps to do the white-collar jobs and the rest of our students to feel as failures that they should be honored, happy to accept minimum wage, low-skilled jobs as their career? Who would benefit from this? Society? I don't think so. Perhaps large corporations need large numbers to accept the minimum wage positions and only the talented tenth for the white-collar positions. What do we as a society need today? As far as we know, as per the CTU's 2012 end-of-year report from the Practical Arts and Vocational Education Committee, currently there is only one known cabinet making, one heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, and one welding program available to our high school students. Programs we used to have, I put them in alphabetical order: automotive mechanical, automotive body shop, aviation, bricklaying, cabinet making, and carpentry, culinary arts, drafting, electricity, machine shop, painting, decorating, print shop, sheet metal, welding, woodworking, and home economics. I wish I took home economics. I don't know my way around the kitchen before. I mean, we had dance classes. The Chicago Teachers Union's Arts Committee, in their 2012 year-end report, state that as of May 24th, 2012, that 12% of our 670 schools do not have an art or music teacher on staff. That's over 70 of our schools. Both CPS and CPU staffing data show that 120,000 students go to school without a fully funded, certified, or endorsed art or performing arts teacher. 4 years of physical education requirement was locally legal. They requested a waiver, they got it. But we still offer, we still offer 4 years at JROTC, Junior Reserve Officer Training. Today, maybe Michelle Obama would look into challenging the efficacy of that waiver, waived the last 2 years of PE. Perhaps if we had an elected school board, they wouldn't rubber stamp something as vital to health as waiving the 4-year PE requirement. I wonder if an elected school board would look into where all the trade programs disappeared to, and why. Interesting, isn't it, that the so-called reformers received a good education when they were in school, but now that they're in power, they wish to dismantle the very public education that taught us all so well, that fostered, as my dad was so proud of, Yankee ingenuity. These reformers desire to evidently gut public education. We used to have union tradespeople serve the Chicago public schools, carpenters, electricians, plumbers, and the like. We even had a union shade replacement crew. I used to run into the two guys about every 5 years as they came into the classrooms to maintain and repair the window shades. Now we got the transoms that are screwed shut over the doors. We have very high windows, very high ceilings. My building's about 77 years old. terrible classroom acoustics, by the way. But let's stick with heating and ventilation for a second there. The transoms are shut closed. We do have windows now that open up at the top, but we only have one-part shades. With a one-part shade, you have a choice. Either let the sun in, or open up the shade at the top, and then let the heat out, and let the sun in. Basically what we're doing, because heat rises, is we're teaching in an easy bake oven. Evidently, the end of the working class is what these well-funded union busters desire. So foisted upon our students is a climate of disrespect. Disrespect for their teachers, their future, their communities. On the editorial page of today's Chicago Tribune, former CPS CEO, current Education Secretary Arne Duncan, in a discussion entitled "The College Cost Riddle," quote, wants to see more transparency for post-secondary. He argues that if students knew more about a school's net cost, graduation rates, and the value of its degrees in the marketplace, they would make better decisions about borrowing to pay for education, quote unquote. Now, in the guise of accountability, now we use bubble fill-in standardized exams, which cannot access cooperative work, entrepreneurial skills, higher order thinking skills, and behaviors that are inherently necessary for a society to flourish. As a special educator, I spend approximately a dozen hours in preparing each IEP, the individual educational plan. In that required preparation, I'm required to analyze the standardized test results of the ACT, the pre-ACT, the Explore, all of which are produced by the nonprofit corporation, the ACT Corporation. Perhaps some of you had to take their product, the WorkKeys test, before you work for a corporation such as, I'm not going to name it, but many corporations are using this product of the ACT, which sorts you into prepared, not prepared, or very well prepared, and then as a result of that test, a ridiculous test, they will give you a chance to get a job. So for individuals with special needs, I attempt to make sense of the ACT results. I mean, I really do. I've had 3 master's programs. Each one's have an educational test and statistics class. I can analyze these, but the addition doesn't add up. The ACT has proprietary formulas for understanding the ACT. It's secret. They don't share it. It doesn't make sense. So I'm taking individuals' ACT results, trying to make sense out of it, and I can write something for the form, but it's really ridiculous, perfunctory. And like I say, a lot of times the math just doesn't seem to add up. Plus 2 is not making it work. I'm not kidding.
Right. Are you see what I see?
Now, the CTU's testing committee, of which I'm a proud member, the 2012 year-end report analyzing our 2011 fall survey to delegates data indicates that the extreme use of testing and test prep was most common in the segregated schools serving the city's poorest children. Even though over-testing was the norm in all Chicago public schools, was in the poorest communities, the testing and test prep had in many cases replaced all other teaching and learning. For example, in my school, in the spring of 2010, the principal, our outgoing principal, mandated we spend 40% of all academic time on test preparation. That was for the entire spring. The PARA, which is the Performance Evaluation Reform Act, signed into law by Governor Quinn in January 2010, requires with data and indicators of student growth as a significant factor in the system for dismissal of tenured teachers. PARA led the reformers to push to pass Senate Bill 7, which, for example, they bragged, pushed the CTU to have need 75% of all members, whether they vote or not, for a strike. We got 90%. We educate all our children. We can't force out our low-achieving students with difficulties as charter schools do. Just last fall, I met a student who left her charter school. I asked, why did she come over to our public school? She said she had failed a semester of English. As the charter didn't offer summer school, she had to leave to take summer school at our school, or else be forced to take a 5th year of school to graduate. The charter school said if she left, even to take summer school, she wouldn't be allowed to return. We, the public schools, have more than 4 score of years served the public, maybe 5. Why was that trust systematically removed from us using metrics, their tests? The communities cherish the public schools where the parents went, where the children now go, where they went. The community respects us. What do we do to deserve this trust? We try our best daily to serve.
The same black car right
Our
here.
politicians. And as an appendix, I don't know if you want me to read it to you, I have the summary. It's called, I downloaded this from our website. This is a summary of the 46-page document. You can go to ctunet.com and get it. And it has research-based proposals to strengthen elementary and secondary education in the Chicago Public Schools. We have 10 things listed. David, do I have time to keep reading? Okay, thank you. And I hope you all stay for the Q&A afterwards. I've got like 6 questions for you guys. Okay. The Chicago Chicago Students Deserve is a new Chicago Teachers Union study which argues in favor of proven educational reforms to dramatically improve the education of more than 400,000 students in a district of 675 schools. These reforms are desperately needed and can lead Chicago towards a world-class educational system its students deserve. Our study presents 46 pages of research-based details on the following 10 essential recommendations. Number 1, recognize that class size matters. Drastically reduce class size. We currently have one of the largest class sizes in the state. This greatly inhibits the ability of our children to learn and thrive. Number 2, educate the whole child. Invest to ensure that all schools have recess and physical education equipment, healthy food offerings, and classes in art, theater, dance, and music in every school. Offer world languages and a variety of subject choices. Provide every school with a library and assign a commensurate number of librarians and youth staff. Number 3, create more robust wraparound services. The Chicago Public School System is far behind recommended staffing levels suggested by national professional associations. The number of school counselors, nurses, social workers, and psychologists must increase dramatically to serve Chicago's population of low-income students. Additionally, students who cannot afford transportation costs need free fares. Number 4, address inequalities in our system. Students and their families recognize the apartheid-like system managed by the CPS. It denies resources to the neediest schools, uses discipline policies with a disproportionate harm on students of color, and enacts policies that increase the concentration of students in high poverty and racially segregated schools. Number 5, help students get off to a good start. We need to provide age-appropriate, not test-driven, education in early grades. All students should have access to pre-kindergarten and to a full-day kindergarten. Number 6, respect and develop the professionals. Teachers need salaries comparable to others with their education and experience. They need time to adequately plan their lessons and collaborate with colleagues, as well as the autonomy and shared decision-making to encourage professional judgment. CPS needs to hire more teaching assistants so that no students fall through the cracks. Number 7, teach all students. We need stronger commitments to address the disparities that exist due to our lack of robust programs for emergent bilingual learners and services for students faced with a variety of special needs. Number 8, provide quality school facilities. No more leaky roofs, asbestos-lined bathrooms, or windows that refuse to shut. Students need to be taught facilities are well maintained and show respect for those who work and go to school there. Number 9, partner with parents. Parents are an integral part of a child's education. They need to be encouraged and helped in that